Hello, and welcome to the Intel Brief. Today is Friday, 7 February. I'm your host Daniel, and today we'll be covering the South African president says the country will not be bullied by the US. Ukraine has received French and Dutch fighter jets, and Taiwan has detected airplanes and balloons from China near their island. So firstly, during his State of the Nation address in Cape Town, South Africa, President Cyril Ramaphosa emphasized the country's resilience and determination not to be bullied, amidst a backdrop of rising nationalism and protectionism globally. Ramaphosa highlighted the challenges that South Africa faces as a developing economy, asserting the nation's strength and resilience without directly naming the United States or Donald Trump, who has recently criticized his government. This address comes at a time when diplomatic tensions between South Africa and the US are escalating, particularly after comments from US officials and the announced absence of Secretary of State Marco Rubio from the upcoming G20 summit in Johannesburg. The tensions have been fueled by disagreements over South Africa's new expiration bill, which allows for nil compensation in certain public interest land exploitations, a move that has been heavily criticized by Trump. Trump has accused South African government of land confiscation and unfair treatment of certain groups within the country, leading to his decision to end future aid to South Africa. In defense, South African officials, including the foreign minister, have rejected these accusations, comparing the bill to the US eminent domain laws, and assert it does not entail arbitrary disposition of land. So what? The situation in South Africa is extremely complex, and it seems some of their laws are becoming more extreme, while the country also appears to be falling further into disrepute. The reduction of US aid has particularly highlighted how countries such as South Africa have become reliant on this US assistance, instead of addressing the issues internally and finding solutions for themselves. They have allowed the US to cover these problems in the past. And while this is generally seen as a soft power move by the US to gain influence, places such as South Africa have made it very clear in recent years that it is not working. So why would the US keep up the support? Hopefully, this withdrawal will allow South Africa and other countries in similar situations to step up and help their population, but time will tell. And next, the Ukrainian Air Force has recently bolstered its air capability by acquiring French Mirage fighter jets and F-16s from the Netherlands. Zelensky confirmed the arrival of the French aircraft, the first installment of a commitment made by France in June 2024. Though the exact number of jets has not been specified, a French parliamentary report suggests that 6 out of France's 26 Mirage fighter jets were destined for Ukraine. These jets, which can be equipped with air-to-ground missiles and anti-electronic warfare capabilities, are going to be piloted by Ukrainians that have been trained in France. Simultaneously, the Dutch contributed US-made F-16 fighter jets with promises to further strengthen Ukraine's military. The Ukrainian defense minister noted that the jets would soon be operational in combat missions in the country. This support from European nations such as the Netherlands and France comes at a critical time, especially with concerns over wavering support from the US. These developments occur against a backdrop of continued hostilities, such as Russia's claim of repelling a Ukrainian offensive in Kursk and Ukraine's strategic strikes in Russian territories. So what? While it is unlikely that these jets will be a game changer in the conflict, they will allow Ukraine to intercept Russian missiles and defend their airspace more effectively. However, they will likely need to be careful about how close they get to the front line of own troops or flot, due to the heightened risk of Russian air defense. Regardless, it is likely that this is a very positive move for Ukraine and will slow down the Russian offensive even if it can't win them the war. And lastly, Taiwan's National Defense Ministry reported detecting 6 Chinese balloons near its mainland within a 24-hour period ending early Friday morning. These sightings, which are among the highest daily figures reported, involved balloons flying at altitudes between 16,000 and 20,000 feet. This incident coincides with other military activity by China in the vicinity of Taiwan, including the presence of 9 Chinese military aircraft, 6 naval ships, and 2 official vessels. The frequent appearance of these balloons is seen by Taiwan as grey zone harassment, a tactic that exerts pressure without escalating to outright war. This method of engagement reflects the ongoing tensions as China continues to assert its claim over the island. The use of surveillance balloons by China has gained international attention, particularly following a significant incident in 2023 when the United States shot down a similar balloon over Montana. This event sparked widespread controversy and further highlighted the use of balloons in modern geopolitical conflicts. China, however, claimed that the balloon was merely a civilian airship that had strayed off course. So what? China has certainly been increasing their pressure on the island, and while it is unlikely they intend to invade imminently, it seems more and more likely that the use of force to control the island will happen at some point. However, there are some external factors that will likely influence this, particularly how Donald Trump acts on the international stage. One indication Trump may not be that keen to defend Taiwan is his push to improve chip manufacturing in the US, though this also sits within his domestic reliance campaign. Thank you for tuning in to the Intel Brief, your daily update on global geopolitics, brought to you by HM Intelligence. You can support the show by sharing it with your friends and leaving us a 5-star review. And if you're curious to learn more about intelligence, you can check out one of our courses in the description below. Thank you for listening. I've been your host, Daniel, and I'll see you next time.